Well, we are joined in the broadcast today by a St. Jude mom, Susan Burch, mom of Chase Burch Mamalejo now. She's been married for 3 years. Susan, thank you for joining us in the broadcast today.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
St. Jude mom, what's that mean to you, my friend?
Oh, wow. It means that our lives were shattered and they helped us piece it all back together. You know, that St. Jude is the most remarkable place you could ever go to in such a difficult situation.
Absolutely. Probably the darkest days of your life happened when you got that 4-word message from a doctor saying your child has cancer.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Chase had been so incredibly healthy up to that time. So, I mean, there was so little warning for us that it was just devastating. It really, truly was. Yeah.
And so, how did you wind up at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital?
So Chase's story, like I said, she did not show that many symptoms. She was sick a week or two, within each other, within 1 week of each other, quite sick. And she had been having headaches, but that's headaches.
Yeah.
But truly, her diagnosis was miraculous. We have shared our story lots of times, but through lots of prayer and the doctors, writing saying they're sending us home. There's no reason she should be here at the ER. She'd had a horrible headache, but he was writing out the orders, and we had just prayed that the doctors would know what to do and would be inspired. And he stopped writing the order to go home and put the pen down and said, "You know what? Just in case, let's just do the MRI." And he kept saying, "There's no reason to. She's perfectly fine. That I don't know why I'm doing this." Anyway, put her in the MRI machine, and I packed up my bags ready to go because he just said there was nothing wrong really with her. It was just in case. And they came in and said that they'd found a mass in her brain the size of a tangerine. She's this tiny little 10-year-old petite little girl that had just so much strength and energy. It was just such an amazing shock to us. We could not believe that she was going through that.
And did he send a referral over to St. Jude immediately
He
upon
didn't.
diagnosis?
No.
How did
We
that come
went
about?
we went to Valley Children's, and they did surgery on her and did a phenomenal job on her surgery.
Yes.
And then they came in and they had done, they had looked at the tumor and realized what it was. It was medulloblastoma, which is the tumor right at the base of your brain. And it was a very fast growing, aggressive tumor. And so we knew that we needed to do something as soon as possible. But when we were given the diagnosis, I looked at my husband. I said, "You go find the best place in the world for her." And he did. He found St. Jude. And the year before, for her birthday, we had actually gone to Chili's to support St. Jude. Like, when we knew about it as a great charity, we didn't really know much about what they did. We just knew they helped children with cancer. But they hadn't come into our mind until my husband did lots of research. And I'm just so grateful. That's where we ended up, and she's doing so well.
And we're so thankful for that. And here we are, how many years later, post where you've got this, all clear from St.
Yeah,
Jude?
so every March 2nd is her diagnosis date. So every March, a lot of our celebration is doing the KJEG Radiothon. It's always been part of our life since then. We're so grateful to you guys. It's so personal to us. So personal to us that you're raising dollars that helped save my daughter's life. And you did it before. You were there a couple years before. You were already raising money. So I consider that you personally, this radio station and the people in this valley, every dollar they contributed saved our daughter's life. So we could not be more grateful.
It is personal. Yes, and personal to us as well. We know the Sperlingers and all the many people that have been through here, the Colewines. And, right now we've got Andrew over at St. Jude from Visalia and his mom. We spoke to Cynthia yesterday, and, there's just so many incredible people from this valley who've been treated at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And Chase, let's not forget, Cash Shank, of course, his sweet little face. We'll be talking to. I did too. I still love this little boy. I know, right?
So I didn't announce that she's 13 years cancer free.
Yes.
Diagnosis, 13 years.
I
So
celebrate
yeah.
that. And that's because of the
So
life-saving
amazing.
work of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And that's all of you who became a partner in hope. You become a part of the St. Jude family. It's so important that it's just $19 a month, y'all. It's not a lot. And you could just call right now. I'm going to give those numbers, 1-800-726. Oh my God, here I'm doing this again. 726-624. I'm going to double check that. I cannot make a mistake on that number right now. Good Lord.
Aw.
God help me. I'll tell you what, you can text right now though. If you can't call, you can certainly text. And I know that number. Text the word kids. Text the word kids
Aw.
to 626262. I can remember that. That's pretty simple, but I don't know why it's 726 hope.
726 hope.
1-800-726-HOPE. Spell out the word hope. And that's the number. All right. So just please call and become a partner in hope right now. And you can go to kjug.com as well. We've got a tile there on the front of our website. If you click on that where it says St. Jude Radiothon, Kings Mortgage Country Cares Radiothon, click on it. And all the information you need to become a partner in hope is right there. But it's so important. 13 years cancer free. God bless her. And a lot has happened since then. So let's talk a little bit about what she has been doing. First of all, 3 years ago, we know she became a married woman. That's exciting.
She did. She did. She has been in love with the same boy since 8 years old.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he to her, yeah. They only lost touch for a couple of years there and got back together in high school. And he was with her through her cancer journey at 10 years old, and just they're best of friends. So grateful
Wonderful.
that she's where she
best
is.
friend.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she married her best friend for sure.
That's incredible. Yeah. And she's also she's an author. It's like I was like, what is this girl doing? This is awesome.
I'm so proud of her. Yeah, she has a children's book and it is amazing. It's the book it's Bella Novella, the book that talked back. And it's so great. It's such an adorable book.
Where can people get a copy of that book if they want to get a copy of that book?
It is on Amazon, and we're going to be releasing it soon. Bella Novella, the book that talked back. So we're going to be re-releasing it soon. And then she also was part of something called Mastering Our Mountains, and she wrote her story. So she was part of a beautiful, inspiring book called Mastering Our Mountains, and she has her own chapter in that book. So yeah, she's got 2 books out, and that one's also on Amazon. Mastering Our Mountains.
If you will please email the links to that to me when they do come out again, and we'll get that posted up so people can buy copies of these books and support her efforts. But honestly, I'm so thrilled. What an incredible outcome. And it couldn't be unless the people stepped up and donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. There are so many kids that are there, and she's part of the 80% that survived. We're at an 80% survival rate. There's 20% who didn't make it, and Cash happened to be one of that 20%. Another friend of mine, Tasha Ives, her daughter Sydney, didn't make it, and we've got some making up to do. We still have a long
ways to go. Yes, we do. We do. I'm so grateful for what we have, but we've lost too many of our angel warriors that we love so much. And the thing that I think is so important our valley understands too, because sometimes I think I thought this, like I said, we knew that it was a wonderful charity, but we didn't know all the things they do. And not only do they just care for the children that are there in the most remarkable way, but 13 years ago, I had the healthiest little girl you could ever imagine. She would do the test, the California fitness test. She was the very top of her class. She would never let anyone beat her at anything. She was just running everywhere and doing everything. We had no idea what was coming. And the thing that we didn't understand is if your child gets leukemia here in the Valley and you go to the Children's Hospital, Valley Children's, they're still on the St. Jude protocol.
Yes.
All the research that they do at St. Jude is shared throughout the world. So we are affected here in this valley. It is a valley issue, meaning that your children and the children here in the valley are not just being treated at St. Jude. They're being treated by the St. Jude protocols because they share those so freely with the world.
Even
and
adults.
It's the research. So yes, they learn so much. Yeah, they're actually learning about COVID and all these things. I keep reading all these amazing things because they can take their research and just learn so much about it. But the thing that I didn't understand is that every single dollar that we donate to St. Jude, you could times that by 1,000, because every child that goes to St. Jude, the research can be multiplied by 1,000. because it helps that many other children in the world to get
Right.
better, to do better, to, they learn so much from every child that goes to St. Jude, and that is shared freely. And most institutions don't share freely. They kind of hold on to their research, and
Right.
they don't, because they're a money-making institution, and this is a charitable institution, and that's what's so miraculous about St. Jude.
Absolutely. And is Chase a part of the study, the life study that goes on with?
She is. Yeah, she is. Yeah, they just contacted her 3 or 4 weeks ago, checking in on her to see how she was doing through all of 2020. And
It's amazing.
they said once a St. Jude patient, always a St. Jude patient. They still love us. They still treat us like they remember, like we walk in, and I remember being on a tour, and they talked about, there's this big room. I think you've been there, Rose, right?
Yes,
Have you
a
been on
few
the
times.
tour of St. Jude? Yeah. So anyway, so on the second floor of the Chili Center, there's this big room that you can walk into, and it's just glass all the way around, and you can
Right.
see what they're doing. You can see all the nurses and see patients in their rooms and things like that. And we were on the tour, and we were just helping a little with the tour and giving our own perspective. And they said that, the patients will come, and it'll be years and years later. This was 7 or 8 years after we had been patient. My daughter had been a patient there.
Right.
And they said that, and the nurses will see the parents, and then they'll notice the child, and they'll come running, and they'll give them a huge hug. And as they're saying this, one of the nurses looks up as she's writing at the desk. She looks up and she sees me, and then she looks at Chase. And she
Right away.
jumps up and she says something, and 3 nurses come running out the door and just embrace my child, and so excited to see her, and couldn't believe she was back, and just so happy. And it was just, they were, everyone's crying, and they're like, St. Jude in action. Did we not just say that this would happen?
Right. What a
And that's
blessing.
exactly how it is. They still treat us like we're family when we go back. And
That's because you
just,
are.
yeah. Yeah,
We want
it's
more
one big
people to
family.
become a part of this family, don't we, Susan?
Absolutely. And every single person who donates $1 to St. Jude, that's exactly what they've done.
Yes, please call now, 1-800-726-HOPE. You can also text the word kids to 626262. Go to kjug.com, click on the link for the Radiothon. It'll give you all the information we just mentioned. If you didn't catch it just now, I'll tell you what, there is nothing greater than this incredible research hospital doing some life-saving work. And it is all because of people all over this country and right here in our own backyard that are so generous and donating of their monies to help the kids. We just had just a couple minutes ago on our Instagram a business owner who said that he had his own battle with colon cancer. And it was a rough one. I mean, he went through chemo, and he goes, I don't want any child to have to go through this. I became a partner in hope for that reason. God bless him.
Oh,
So there
that's
are many
wonderful.
reasons. And, I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday whose daughter was a patient. She's one of the 20%, as I mentioned. And she does work with St. Jude as we speak. She works in the bereavement, I guess, department there. They actually created a whole different department for people who have lost their children. And she and I were talking. I said, tell everybody why they should donate to St. Jude. And she said, I'm just going to say, why not? And I thought, makes sense to me. And, it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer, guys.
Yeah. I mean, really, truly. I mean, like I said, every dollar that you donate is expanded throughout the world. You never know. It's like dropping that, in the ocean, in the lake, that you never know the ripples and whose life you will affect. You get to do so much good with, just $20 a month. I mean, we can spend that on, just heading to go get ice cream,
Yeah.
I mean, it's $20 doesn't, it doesn't do much now, but it can do miracles. My daughter's here because of people who became partners in hope.
And her name is Chase Burch Mamalejo.
Yeah,
God bless
she's
her.
doing awesome.
Susan, I just appreciate you taking the time for Radiothon as you do every single year, sharing your story, and sharing that big, beautiful heart of yours. We love you guys. We
We
think of
love
you often.
KJAG.
And
Oh, we are grateful to be part of your family and the St. Jude family for sure. You guys have always treated us that way. We actually came in between surgery and leaving for St. Jude. We stopped in. They asked us if we could stop in, and Chase came with us in between those two. And she did her
wow.
first little interview before we even headed to St. Jude. And I remember listening on the radio, listening to the KJAG Radiothon while we were very first in the Ronald McDonald House, just had been there for 2 weeks, and just listening to you guys talk about her and sending hope our way, it just melted our hearts. And listening to the numbers go up in our valley, being so supportive when it was so personal to us. We just love this valley, and we love you guys.
I'm going to do a quick little update for you because I think you're going to find it very fascinating. I just got this text while we were talking, and I thought, oh my gosh, y'all. And this is like, it's only $12.18, but our current total is $111,844.
Oh my gosh.
And
I
it's
remember
only
we thought it was a
12
miracle
noon.
when we got to 50,000. That's so amazing.
111,844 as
Oh
of
my
now.
gosh, it makes me want to cry.
We still have till 7 o'clock tonight, y'all.
Oh,
And
that's
we got our
awesome.
sponsors coming in. Thanks again to our local sponsors who always step up and want to participate and help us with this Radiothon year after year. Thanks to all
Absolutely.
the incredible listeners that we have here, the Partners in Hope. Our ag community has stepped up hugely this year. It's just been amazing. Just cutting check after check after check. God bless you all. And God bless our patient families. And it's just, we can't do any of what we're doing right now without each and every one of you. So thank you for taking the time,
Amazing.
Susan. We're talking to Susan Burch. She's a patient mom. Her daughter, Chase Marmolejo Burch. No, Chase Burch Marmolejo. I got it backwards. We're so thrilled for what's going on with her in her life right now, and we're so happy for you. We
Thank you.
continue with our work.
For sure.
All right. Thanks
Yeah,
again.
sure. Thank you, Rose. Tell everybody hello from us.
I will. And next time I'm going to bug Chase, and maybe Chase can join us.
She has moved back local. Did you know that? She's back here.
No.
Yeah,
Oh
she used to be 7 hours away. So yes.
Put a bug in her ear, Mama. Maybe we can get her on a little later on.
I know she's working, but this afternoon she'll be off. So maybe I will. Yeah, I'll have her try to contact you.
See if she'll be available. I'd love to speak to her for just a few minutes.
Thank you, Rose.
Take care, honey.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.